What's up everybody, it's Sean here, back today to give you guys a review of the 2026 version of the Air Jordan 3 Retro True Blue. This sees the return of the iconic colorway of the Jordan 3, the True Blue 3s, which I'm sure most of you guys know already was an original colorway of the Jordan 3 when they first released back in the late 1980s. Over the years, they've retroed a handful of times, but arguably, I'd say that this retro is probably closest to the original that we've seen in a long time. And they retail for a pretty expensive $230 US or $290 here in Canada. The official colorway for this shoe is white, true blue, varsity red, cement gray, and anthracite. And these will be available in full family sizing at most Air Jordan retailers, including the Closet Inc. right here in Canada. The Closet Inc. is my go-to shop when it comes to Nikes and Jordan retros. They're independently owned and operated, and they're based right here in Southern Ontario in Canada, and they offer some of the best pricing in the entire country. If you check out their website, which I've linked down below in the description box, go to their TCI Advantage tab and try adding a product to cart. Once you try to check out, the discounts are automatically applied, and let me tell you, these discounts are steep. You're getting a ton of savings. So if you're watching from Canada and you want to support some of the independent shops, check out the Closet Inc. Links are down below. So one of the things that surprised me about this release in a good way was the box that these come in. So this sees the return of the iconic Air Jordan Face box, which was first debuted in the early 2000s. And this is the box I remember Jordans being packaged in when I first got into sneakers sometime around 2005. So as you can see, we have this black base bottom. Nothing too crazy here. And here's a look at the size label as well. So taking a look at the details of this 2026 version of the True Blue 3s, the upper of the shoe is crafted out of a slightly tumbled, white colored leather. So this is a genuine leather and it feels pretty decent to the touch. You press your fingers into this leather and you can see those natural leather grains, which is always a good thing to see. Overlaid on top of this, we have another layer of that same white leather, and then across the edge of the toe box, we have the iconic elephant print, which you'll notice is a little slimmer, a little bit more tapered, matching the look of the originals from 1988. But obviously the thickness and the width of the elephant print varies from pair to pair. I got lucky, my pair is pretty faint, pretty light, which I personally prefer on my Jordan 3s. For the eyelets, the bottom two have these circular plastic eyelets in red. Next to this, we have more elephant print covering the middle three eyelets, which is constructed out of a blue colored matte TPU finish. And then we have more blue plastic covering the top two eyelets. Underneath this, we have more of that tumbled leather, which covers the majority of the upper of the shoe. Covering the bottom of the heel, we have another panel of elephant print, and you'll notice again how the elephant print on my pair is pretty thin and pretty faint. Covering the top portion of the ankle collar area, we have this white colored perforated leather, and then on the heel, we have this plastic heel tab with Nike Air branding in blue. Hanging off the shoe, it comes with this orange colored plastic Nike Air hang tag. These only come with one lace option, and they're a flat white colored lace. Underneath this, the bottom half of the tongue is perforated, and then the top is left smooth. And then embroidered across, we have this red colored Jumpman logo. The back of the tongue is covered in a red colored liner, and you'll see how this red liner is kept on the rear side of the tongue. It doesn't wrap up and onto the front, which is how Jordan 3s were supposed to look, even though retros in the past didn't have this proper fold on their tongues. And then for the inner collar of the back of the shoe, we have this blue colored liner, and for this specific pair, it felt pretty thinly padded. There wasn't that much foam within here, which I think impacts the sizing of the shoe. For the insoles, these come with a polyurethane lined foam insole. It's covered in this red finish on top, and we have Nike Air branding pressed onto the heel. So the upper of the shoe sits atop a polyurethane foam midsole, which is painted in this true blue color on the top and this slightly off-white color on the bottom. Encased within this midsole, we have Nike Air technology. This is visible with this cutaway on the heel, exposing the Air unit itself. And then on the bottom of the shoe, here we have your classic traditional Jordan 3 outsole, constructed out of a gray, white, and red rubber. We have the circular pivot point on the forefoot, along with Nike branding visible in the center of the heel. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about how these fit, so I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. I'm pretty much always a size 10 in Jordan 3s, but these definitely felt roomier than normal. So shout out to Chris from Wear Testers. I actually watched his review first before securing my pair, and he had mentioned that they run big. So I got these in a size 9.5, which is a half size smaller than I usually do, and they fit me pretty well. I feel like if you have a narrow, normal, or even a slightly wide foot, you can go a half size down from your normal Jordan 3 size. But if you have a really wide foot, you'd probably be better off just sticking true to size. So in the case for me, going a half size down, it left me about a finger's width space between the top of the shoe and the top of my toe. There was a little bit of pressure around the pinky toe area, but once I readjusted the laces and tied them up, that locked my foot towards the back of the shoe, and it kind of minimized any pressure that I felt on the forefoot. Moving on to the comfort of the shoe, these feel like any other Jordan 3s. So for a casual use sneaker, especially for a Jordan made in the 80s, I find Jordan 3s to be actually decently comfortable. They're not going to be comparable to something with modern day tech, but for a basic polyurethane midsole with Nike Air technology, for some reason Jordan 3s have just always been good to me, as opposed to something like a Jordan 4, which you'd expect it to be at least as comfortable as a Jordan 3, but I think the shape of 4s just don't jive with my feet, and I've always been a much bigger fan of the comfort of the Jordan 3. But if you're someone that historically finds them to be uncomfortable, then unfortunately, you're probably gonna feel that these are the exact same. But again, for an Air Jordan with very outdated technology, I think just for a casual shoe, these will be fine. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship on this pair, so first off, the material quality I thought was pretty decent. It's nothing spectacular, nothing amazing, and it obviously didn't blow my mind, but for a mass-produced GR Air Jordan, I think the materials weren't bad at all. For the most part, it's genuine leather, and it doesn't have like a major plastic coating on top, giving it more of a stiff feel. It feels decently soft straight out of the box. And I thought the overall build of my pair was pretty good. Very minor issues with extra stitching that I had to just cut off with scissors by myself, but most importantly, the panels were consistently sized, no crooked panels, nothing like that. And while the paint job wasn't perfect, it wasn't bad again for a mass-produced Jordan. So with all of that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet, I'll lace them up, and I'll show you guys how these look. Overall, you can really never go wrong with an original colorway of an Air Jordan 3. And the fact that they brought it back looking closer to the original 1980s version, I think that's a great thing. The only thing that I have an issue with is the high price point. So I would not be surprised if these sat on shelves and were eventually available for under retail. So if you're someone that's kind of hesitant to shelf out the $230 US or $290 Canadian on a pair of Jordans, I'd probably place money on them being available for a decent discount in the weeks or months down the road. But again, this is a classic, iconic colorway of the Jordan 3. It just comes down to whether you rock Jordans as much these days, and if it's gonna be worth shelving out that money to have this pair in your collection. So leave your comments down below, let me know, what do you guys think about this pair? At the time that I'm filming this, which is the day before the drop, do you plan on copying this pair? Are you waiting for them to go down in price? Or are you just not a fan of Jordan 3s? Or it's just not really a shoe you see yourself wearing these days, and this will be a pass for you. As usual, if you guys enjoy this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I'll link my socials down below, so give me a follow there too. And another shout out goes out to The Closet Inc. So if you're watching from Canada, check them out, links are down below. So thanks everyone for tuning in, hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you all in my next video.